Hey everyone, how's it going? Dr. Ironbat Prime 2.0 back again with a new video, and this is part 2 of me cosplaying as the Merc with the Mouth. Now, I would have done this video a lot sooner and earlier, but I've been busy with other events, other things here and there. But better late than never. Sure, this video is long overdue, but this is part 2 of me cosplaying as Deadpool, of course. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, that is okay. I will leave a link down below so you can check it out on how I made it and how I made the first half of just, the pants, the shirts, the mask, and everything. So I've made a few slight changes. I've worn this cosplay for, 2 events already these past couple of months. So, yeah. And I am a bit dressed for comfort because, it's snowing and raining at the same time here in Texas at the point in time I'm videoing this. So, yeah, perfect time for me to work on this video. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about the weapons, the props, the updates, and a big reveal at the end. So, here's how I continued on with making this Deadpool cosplay of mine. So one of the updates I did do, like I said in my first video, the red on these gloves, at first they were a dark red like the first movie because, in the first movie his suit was very dark red, so I went in with some red leather paint. Here it is actually. I got this stuff on Amazon, and it helps giving it that red, bright red coat. I had to give it these gloves 2 coats of red, and yeah, I mean the red wasn't really matching up, so adding a couple of coats of this stuff definitely helps. So if you really want to brighten your red on on your cosplays when it's leather, then I would highly recommend using this stuff. So yeah. So another thing I did do on the cosplay as a bit of an update, I made some small changes to the boots. So I'm just saying one of them down, but here's a better look at one of them. I went in by replacing at first it was 2mm craft foam, and I replaced it with 5mm for the sides because, I know these are shin guards in the movie, but I really wanted this to be a one big boot system. So yeah, I just took it apart and I just replaced it with 5mm craft foam, and I went in with a black Sharpie just to line up and make it look more movie accurate. Same goes for the other side. And I did add in a couple bits of a 2mm craft foam for this area. Same goes for right here, here, and here, because he actually does have this. I really wanted to try and replicate kind of sort of what he wore in Deadpool and Wolverine, because like I said in my first video, I want this cosplay to be a hybrid and combo between what he wore in the movies and the time he joined the X-Men, hence why, I'm wearing an X-Men shirt for this Deadpool cosplay of mine. So yeah, the boots, the gloves, those are the updates that I have made to, what I did. So now, onto the things that I have not talked about in part 1. So, one of the props and weapons by my side, and that he has in the movie, is of course, his little knife that he carries on his leg, or as he called it in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Not gonna be easy. Baby knife, shoot the double, take him.
Yeah, but this is actually a tactical, rubber knife. It's not a real one, so yeah, it's not that kind of knife. And I've actually had this for a while. This is my Red Hood knife that I use, that I clip onto my legs. I pretty much just had some elastic bands, clips, and I just wrap it around my leg, and it would just, and that's just what I would do when I would cosplay as Red Hood, and when it comes to being a Deadpool, of course. And I've had this for a while. All I did was, take it apart and again add in the clips and the elastic band. And I did go in with some silver Mallmaster paint, but it is scratching up a bit, so I will go back and fix this, or maybe make it a bit more battle damage. But yeah, again, I've had this for a while. Helps me save a few extra bucks, and I just clip it onto my leg because, that is a Deadpool thing, of course. So as for the rest of the cosplay itself, I pretty much, did a lot of work on the belt. Like I said, my first video, I added in some buttons and buttons and straps to, to this belt that is made of, foam, of course, but also, it's actually more of like an elastic band, on how I usually make most of my cosplay belts. And I just added in some buttons here and there. Like, here's what it looks like when I have it off. And that's what most of these straps are for. So this is a strap that I had lying around, got at Michael's and or Hobby Lobby, and I just wrap it around because this way it has. And I have it for my katanas and my foam swords. And this part right here is actually foam. He has this in the movie as well, so... And I just added in, this is just an old backpack strap that I spray painted gold and glued it down just to give it a bit more color, a bit more effect, and just to decorate it. But yeah, I glued down some foam as well because, that's what he has in the movie, and I just want to try and recreate that shape, but that's what I did for right here. Now, as for the katanas, here's what it looks like now, but a while back, I actually did use these for a Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine, get up slash cosplay. I mean, here's what it looked like when I first tried it on and used it. And yeah, it was all just plain black, and I got this whole part for like $50 on eBay. And yeah, that's pretty much what it looked like. And all I did was get rid of the straps and just glued it down to, this new type of strap. Now, as for what's holding it together right here in the back, because you could obviously tell that there's something sticking on my back, it's actually magnets that I glued down to some foam. Here's what it looks like when I have it laid down, and it's, and it has the magnets glued down. It was just a matter of just measuring my back, measuring the pieces, and just making sure that they were all lined up, and I just glued it down. It was a bit tricky, and there was a little bit of error, but I managed to get there in the end, and I used some Loctite glue, a little bit of Gorilla Glue, just to make sure it would stay permanent and just stay there. But yeah, and as for the swords, these are actually just foam swords. Let me just get this one out, but yeah, I mean, it's convention safe. I never bring real weapons to conventions. And, the changes I made, including to this one, I pretty much just went in with some gold Mall Master paint and just, paint this whole area gold. Because, like I said before, I wanted this to be a bit of a combo of, way more in, all the movies. So, mostly Deadpool, Wolverine stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Oh, and I went in with some Mall Master Silver for this bit right here because it's like that in the movie as well. But yeah, and I did add in a piece of foam right here, going down, but also painted that gold because he has that in the movie as well. So yeah, and they just slide in and out. And yeah, that's pretty much what I did for the katanas and swords, so that's that. I know y'all will be seeing my crotch right now, but here's the lower area of, the gun holsters and the guns. Like he has in the movie, these are pretty much like gun holster pouches. Now, I just pretty much cut these from 5mm craft foam and then wrapped around some brown foam just to make sure that they would look a bit more movie accurate and more colorful, and I don't have to spray paint brown spray paint, just like I did for the belts. And the same goes for the gold. I just glued down some strips of foam, black foam, and then paint them gold. And yeah, I just glued them down to the straps. And as for the holster, I've had these for a while. These are from my old Red Hood cosplay that I did a while back. And yeah, I pretty much just took them apart. I glued down some black foam and just paint them down with some flat black paint. And yeah, it was just a matter of, getting some straps here and there. And I just clip them on right here, and yeah, and they also button down to my, to my belt as well. And yeah, that's what I did for both the pouches. And as for the guns, well, these are pretty much just airsoft guns. No, these aren't the gold ones that he had in the movie that I stole from Nice Pool, and these aren't the Desert Eagles that he sported in the first two movies. I keep forgetting the name of these guns, but these are just airsoft guns, and well, I didn't really do anything to them other than write down smile, wait for the flash, because he does have that in the movie as well. So yeah, call back to that in the movie. And because of course, if you're gonna be Deadpool, you gotta have his pistols, you gotta have his arsenal. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole arsenal. And yeah, I know the straps are very complicated. Like, I pretty much added in two here and one here because that's what it was like in the movie. And like I said, I want this to be like a combo and a hybrid of like what he wore in mostly Deadpool Wolverine, along with, well, what he had in past movies and the comics. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole pouch area and the guns. So that's very much everything that I could say for part 2. I'm really happy with how this cosplay turned out, and again, I wore this for 2 events for the past couple months. They were both the Cowtown Comic-Con that I went to near the end of October, and a small comic book show that I went to in November. So yeah, again, this video is long overdue, but better late than never. And I will leave links down below if you want to check out my vlogs of me wearing this cosplay. But I'd like to give a shout out to my friends Todd and Michael. They are cosplay friends of mine and convention friends that I always bump into. So they took a dozen photos of me just in full Deadpool cosplay. So here is the end result of me in full cosplay and the events I went to, and well, here's the big reveal. And another prop that I was carrying by my side, Rainbow Dash. I pretty much got this on eBay for like 25 bucks. But also, like Deadpool said in his last movie,
I am Messiah. I am Marvel Jesus.
And I have seen a dozen other Deadpool cosplayers carry their own MLP plush by their side, so why the heck not? I couldn't help it.